Welcome to Coins News Daily. Today we are talking about the most valuable rare United States of America dollar coins, including rare Eisenhower dollars, Susan B. $1 coins, and Sacagawea gold $1 coins that could be worth thousands, even over $100,000. Make sure you watch until the end because one small detail on your coin could change your life forever. Subscribe, like, share, and comment below if you have one of these rare coins. Thanks with love for watching. Coin 1. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern American coins ever struck, the legendary 1978 Eisenhower dollar. If you are a true coin lover, a treasure hunter at heart, or someone who dreams about finding hidden value in everyday change, then stay with me until the very end. Because what I'm about to share might completely change the way you look at this powerful piece of American history. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar was produced at the famous United States Mint in Denver during the final year of the Eisenhower dollar series. Yes, 1978 was the last year this large dollar coin was ever struck for circulation. That alone makes it historically significant. When a coin represents the end of an era, collectors always pay attention. On the front of this coin, you see the bold and commanding portrait of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and a five-star general during World War II. His strong profile gives this coin a sense of authority and pride. It is not just a piece of metal, it is a symbol of leadership, strength, and American resilience. Turn the coin over, and you'll see one of the most exciting designs in modern U.S. coinage. The reverse was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia. The eagle landing on the moon represents America's giant leap in space exploration. This design connects the coin to the incredible achievements of NASA and the historic moon landing era. Now here is where things get truly interesting. Millions of 1978 Eisenhower dollars were produced. Over 33 million coins came out of the Denver Mint. At first glance, that sounds common. And yes, most circulated examples are worth only a small premium over face value. But in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A circulated 1978 Eisenhower dollar usually shows scratches, dull surfaces, and worn details. Those coins generally trade for a small amount above $1 depending on silver content, which in this case is copper nickel clad, not silver. But when you find one in pristine uncirculated condition, with blazing mint luster and no marks, the story changes dramatically. Collectors look for high-grade examples graded MS65, MS66, and especially MS67. Why? Because large coins like the Eisenhower dollar were difficult to preserve without marks. The big surface area easily picked up contact marks during transport in mint bags. That makes true gem examples surprisingly scarce, but condition is only the beginning. Let's talk about rare errors that make the 1978 Eisenhower dollar extremely valuable. Point 1 of the most exciting errors is the double die variety. In some rare cases, you may notice doubling in the lettering, especially in Liberty or In God We Trust. This doubling happened during the die creation process. When authentic and confirmed, a strong double die can multiply the value many times. Another rare and dramatic error is the off-center strike. Imagine part of the coin design missing because the blank planchet was not properly aligned during striking. If the date and mint mark are still visible and the off-center percentage is significant, collectors aggressively compete for these pieces. There are also clipped planchets, where part of the coin is literally missing due to a metal cutting error at the mint. These curved clips create a unique and eye-catching appearance. The more dramatic the clip while still showing the full date, the more desirable it becomes. Then we have broad strikes. This happens when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread outward. The coin appears larger and thinner than normal. These errors are scarce and very collectible, but wait, it gets even more serious for advanced collectors. High-grade 1978 Eisenhower dollars with deep, original mint luster and clean fields are extremely hard to find. Many were stored improperly. Bag marks are common. That means certified top population coins become registry set trophies. When collectors compete to build the best graded sets, prices can rise sharply. Now imagine discovering a 1978 Eisenhower dollar graded MS67 with exceptional eye appeal. Only a tiny fraction of the original mintage survives in such condition. These coins represent the absolute finest known examples. And when supply is tiny but demand from serious collectors remains strong, market values respond accordingly. This is why searching through old bank rolls, estate collections, and inherited coin jars can sometimes lead to incredible discoveries. Many people overlook Eisenhower dollars because they are large and heavy. But hidden among ordinary pieces could be a premium condition rarity. Let's talk real market numbers. A typical circulated 1978 Eisenhower dollar is generally worth around $1 to $3 depending on condition. A brilliant uncirculated example in MS65 condition often sells in the range of $20 to $40. In MS66 condition, market prices commonly range between $75 and $150 depending on eye appeal and certification. But when you move into MS67 territory, auction results have reached several $1,000s, with premium examples selling for over $8,000 at major public auctions when registry competition is strong. Error coins vary widely. Minor off-center or clipped planchet examples can sell from $100 to $500 depending on severity. Strong double die varieties or dramatic mint errors have realized well over $1,000 in competitive auctions. And that is what makes the 1978 Eisenhower dollar so exciting. It is not just about silver content. It is not just about age. It is about condition, rarity within grade, and mint errors that transform an ordinary coin into a collector's prize. So the next time you see a large Eisenhower dollar, do not ignore it. Check the mint mark. Look closely at the surfaces. Examine the lettering. Search for doubling. Inspect the rim. Because one small detail could mean the difference between a $1 coin and a multi-$1,000 treasure. Coin collecting is not just a hobby. It is a hunt. A hunt for history, for perfection, for the rare survivor that escaped damage for nearly half a century. If you love coins, if you love American history, and if you love the thrill of discovery, then the 1978 Eisenhower dollar deserves your attention. Coin 2. We are diving into one of the most talked about and misunderstood coins in American history. A coin that people still find in drawers, piggy banks, old collections, and sometimes even in circulation. But here is the twist: while millions were made, only a very small number are truly valuable. And when I say valuable, I mean coins that have shocked collectors at auction. I'm talking about the 1979 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin. Before we go deep into the rare errors and real market prices, take a moment and imagine this. It's 1979. The United States is introducing a brand new dollar coin featuring a real historical woman for the very first time. That woman was Susan B. Anthony, a leader in the women's suffrage movement. This was a bold and historic move by the United States Mint. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, all marked with the P Mint mark. But what most people don't realize is that within those millions, a few hidden treasures were born. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar was struck in copper nickel-clad composition. It has an 11-sided inner border that gives it a unique appearance. On the obverse, you see the strong portrait of Susan B. Anthony facing right. On the reverse, the iconic eagle landing on the moon design, originally inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia. That alone makes this coin historically powerful. Now here is where things get interesting. Most 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars are common. Extremely common. In circulated condition, they usually trade for $1 to $2. Even in uncirculated condition, many examples sell between $5 and $15 depending on grade. So if you have one in your pocket right now, it is likely worth face value or just slightly more. But not all 1979 dollars are the same. There is a famous variety known as the wide rim or near date variety. This is where collectors need to pay close attention. On the wide rim version, the date appears much closer to the rim of the coin. The rim is thicker and almost touches the numbers in the date. On the more common narrow rim version, there is noticeable space between the date and the rim. This small design difference creates a huge price difference. A 1979 wide rim Susan B. Anthony dollar in circulated condition can sell for $20 to $50 depending on quality. In uncirculated condition, these coins often sell between $100 and $300. And in high mint state grades, especially graded MS-67 or higher, auction records have shown prices reaching several $1,000s. Some top condition examples have brought over $5,000 at major auctions. Now imagine finding one of those in a roll of old coins, but we are not done yet. Let's talk about error coins. Because this is where things become truly exciting for collectors. Error coins are mistakes made during the minting process. And when it comes to the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar, there are several types that command serious money. One of the most dramatic errors is the off-center strike. These occur when the coin blank is not properly aligned during striking. If the date is still visible and the off-center strike is significant, these can sell for $100 to $400 depending on how dramatic the error is. Then there are double strikes. A coin struck twice can show overlapping details. Strong double strikes on a 1979 P dollar have sold for $300 to over $1,000 depending on visual appeal. Another major category is broad strike errors. These coins were struck without the retaining collar, causing them to spread out wider than normal. Broad strike Susan B. Anthony dollars from 1979 P can sell between $100 and $500, but perhaps the most valuable errors are dramatic die breaks and major die cracks. When a die begins to fail, it can create raised lines or even large chunks missing from the design. Some major retained die break examples have sold for several $100s, while spectacular examples have crossed the $1,000 mark at auction. There are also double die varieties. While not as dramatic as some Lincoln cents, certain double die examples on the 1979 P dollar show noticeable doubling in the lettering or date. Strong double dies can bring $200 to $600 depending on grade and clarity, and here is something very important for collectors. Condition matters more than you think. A regular 1979 P dollar graded MS-68 by a top grading service is extremely rare. In that elite condition, auction prices have exceeded $10,000. That is not pocket change. That is serious collector demand driven by condition rarity. Think about that for a moment. A coin that most people ignore could potentially be worth thousands if preserved in near perfect condition. Now let's talk about why this coin failed in circulation yet became a collector favorite. The main reason was confusion. The coin was very close in size and color to the quarter. Many people disliked that. Vending machines had trouble accepting them at first. Public acceptance was low. Production numbers were high, but demand in circulation was weak. That combination makes for an interesting collector story decades later. Collectors today search through bank rolls, estate collections, and old mint sets hoping to find the wide rim variety or a high-grade example. The thrill of the hunt keeps this coin alive in the hobby. If you are checking your own coins, here is what to look for. First, examine the rim near the date. If the date is very close to the rim with little spacing, you may have the wide rim variety. Second, check for unusual doubling in the letters or numbers. Third, look for striking errors like off-center designs or unusual metal spreading. And finally, always evaluate condition carefully. Sharp details, strong luster, and minimal contact marks dramatically increase value. This coin represents more than just money. It represents history. It represents a groundbreaking moment when the United States honored Susan B. Anthony on circulating coinage. It represents a time when the mint experimented with new designs and faced unexpected public reaction, and today, nearly 5 decades later, collectors are still fascinated by it. So what is the real market value of the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar? In circulated condition, most examples are worth $1 to $2. In uncirculated condition, common narrow rim coins typically sell for $5 to $15. The wide rim variety in circulated grades sells for $20 to $50. The wide rim variety in uncirculated grades commonly sells for $100 to $300. High mint state examples graded at the very top levels have reached prices over $5,000. Exceptional near-perfect graded examples have achieved auction results exceeding $10,000. Major off-center and dramatic error coins range from $100 to over $1,000 depending on severity and demand, and that is why you should never ignore this small but powerful coin. Check your change. Check old collections. Because hidden inside what looks like an ordinary dollar could be a rare wide rim variety, a valuable mint error, or a high-grade treasure worth far more than face value. Coin collectors know one important truth. Rarity plus condition plus demand equals value. And the 1979 piece Susan B. Anthony Dollar proves that perfectly. If you love coins, history, and the thrill of discovery, this is $1 coin you should always examine very carefully. Coin 3. We are diving into one of the most fascinating modern American coins that continues to spark debate, excitement, and serious collector interest across the country, the 2010 Sacagawea Golden Dollar. If you love coins, hidden treasures, mint errors, and real market value stories, stay with me until the very end because what I'm about to share might completely change the way you look at your pocket change. Before we go deeper, take a moment to imagine this. A coin that many people ignore, a coin that looks simple, golden, common, but in certain conditions and with certain rare characteristics, it can command serious attention from collectors. That is exactly the story of the 2010 Sacagawea Dollar. The Sacagawea Dollar series began in the year 2000, but in 2009 the reverse design changed to the Native American series concept, honoring contributions of Native Americans to the development of the United States. The 2010 dollar features Sacagawea carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste on the obverse, a design created by Glenna Goodacker. On the reverse for 2010, you will see the Great Tree of Peace design, symbolizing the Iroquois Confederacy and unity among nations. Now let's talk about that D Mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, officially known as the United States Mint at Denver. Coins struck there are marked with a small d on the obverse. In 2010, millions of these coins were produced in Denver. At first glance, that sounds like there is nothing rare here. But rarity is not always about total mintage numbers. It is about condition, survival rate, special errors, and demand. Many 2010 Sacagawea dollars were struck primarily for collectors and for use in rolls and bags rather than widespread circulation. That means most examples stayed in relatively nice condition. However, true high-grade coins, those graded MS67, MS68, and above by professional grading services, are extremely difficult to find. When a coin is struck, tiny imperfections can occur. These mint errors are what truly excite collectors. For the 2010 Sacagawea Dollar, some of the most talked about errors include off-center strikes, missing edge lettering, weak edge lettering, double dies, die cracks, and clipped planchets. Edge lettering is especially important in this series. Instead of having the date and motto on the front or back, the year, mint mark, and E pluribus unum are inscribed on the edge. If the edge lettering is missing entirely or partially, that coin becomes significantly more desirable. A missing edge lettering error transforms an ordinary dollar into a sought-after modern rarity. There have also been cases of dramatic off-center strikes where the design is visibly shifted. The more dramatic the misalignment while still showing the date, the more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors love visible, eye-catching mistakes. Die cracks that form raised lines across the surface can also add collectible appeal. While small cracks may not add huge premiums, large and unusual cracks sometimes attract specialized error collectors willing to pay strong prices. Condition plays a massive role. Coins that remain in original mint state with blazing luster, sharp details in Sacagawea's hair, clean fields without scratches, and strong strike quality command the most attention. Even tiny contact marks can lower the grade dramatically. That is why professional grading from services like PCGS or NGC can make a huge difference in final value. Now here is something very important for every coin lover watching. Just because you have a 2010 Sacagawea dollar does not automatically mean you have a treasure worth thousands. Most examples in circulated condition are worth face value. But uncirculated examples, especially in high mint state grades, are a different story. Collectors building registry sets compete for the finest known examples. When population reports show only a small number graded at the very highest levels, demand increases. And when demand increases while supply remains limited, prices move upward. Roll searching is another exciting aspect. Some collectors purchase original bank-wrapped rolls hoping to find superb gems or rare errors. The thrill of opening a roll and discovering a high-grade coin with strong eye appeal keeps the hobby alive and exciting. The golden color of the Sacagawea dollar is created from a manganese brass-clad composition, not actual gold. Yet its golden appearance often confuses people into thinking it contains precious metal. The real value comes not from gold content but from rarity, condition, and collector demand. Now let's talk about real market value and auction performance. In circulated condition, the 2010 Sacagawea dollar is worth $1. In typical uncirculated mint state condition, it generally sells between $2 and $5 depending on quality. High-grade certified examples graded MS-67 have sold in the range of $50 to $100, extremely rare top population examples. Graded MS-68 have reached auction prices between $300 and $600 depending on eye appeal and market demand. Major mint error examples such as dramatic off-center strikes or missing edge lettering have sold from $100 to over $1,000 depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. These values reflect real market sales and auction results, not hype or unrealistic claims. So what should you do if you find one? First, examine the edge lettering carefully. Second, check for strike quality and unusual features. Third, consider professional grading if the coin appears flawless. And most importantly, handle it carefully to preserve condition. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasures can still be found in modern issues. The 2010 Sacagawea dollar proves that even recent coins can hold surprises. If you enjoyed learning about this coin, stay tuned for more deep dives into rare modern treasures hiding in plain sight. Check your change, search your rolls, and never underestimate the value of knowledge in the world of numismatics, because sometimes, the next valuable coin is already in your hands. You just have to know what to look for.